What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I am your host, Robert, and today we are doing another manga haul. So, you already know it's the end of another month, which means it's time to take a look at and talk about everything that I picked up this month. Now, let me see. I have about maybe 12 to 15 manga I picked up this month. So not super big, but I guess for me, but yeah, but just some very exciting things in here. And actually a handful of these I've already read through or have been reading. So let's go ahead and just dive right in because the other thing aside from just you know this being a manga haul, it's the first manga haul of the new year, and it's also my birthday month because my birthday is January 6th. And so I got a few of these back on my birthday, and then, some of it kind of trickled in afterwards. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just dive right into what all I picked up this month. All right, so one thing I'm doing a little bit different this month is that I'm also uploading this manga haul onto podcast services, primarily because I have access to Spotify video. So I figured I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. If people like me doing that, cool. For those of y'all that might see this come through the podcast feed that aren't seeing the video or whatever, apologies. Hey, go check it out on YouTube or whatever. But like I said, I wanted to try it because I'm like, okay, I have access to do this on that platform. Let's experiment and see what happens. So, anywho, so first off, one that I'm very happy to have added to my collection is Witch Hat Atelier. Now this one, I have a very funny little story. So I got volumes 1 through 5. So y'all can see volume 1, 2, 3, volume 4, and volume 5. So just a quick little story, for those of y'all that might not have heard on any of my other podcast episodes and stuff. So this is a series that's been on my to read list for a little bit since some very cool people that I follow online, been talking about it. They've been reading and stuff, whatever. And like the screenshots and stuff, I've been saying, man, this looks really pretty. This looks really interesting or whatever. So I was like, you know what? One of my goals for this year was to eventually get it once I get some other stuff. Well, here we are, beginning of the month, and I already have 5 of them. Now, the way that happened is I basically I went to a local movie trading company, which honestly, like I knew that they had like a anime section, but it never dawned on me to check and see if they had a manga section. Well, somebody I was watching or something, whatever, had mentioned that they had one by one. So I was like, you know what, let me try it. And they had volumes 3 through 5 pre-owned for like $5 a piece. I'm like, okay, I can't pass that up. And when you look at them, they look brand new, like somebody just bought them and then traded them in. So I was like, okay, I got 3 of them. Let me see. And then one of my very awesome friends, Jessamine from Epic Manga Book Club, she had an extra copy of volume 1 that she was like, you know what, I'll send you that for your birthday present. So she sent me this. And so I just had to hunt down volume 2, which for some reason volume 2 was sold out everywhere for a while because I would always see 1 and then 3 through everything else. So anyway, so I finally picked up all of those and I started reading, which I've already done a review for volume 1. That's how much I loved it. Like I read it in one day, did a review that night and stuff. And so I'll put a link to the or a little card or whatever if y'all watching on YouTube, a link to that. But I loved it. And I guess just for those that are like, Robert, what are you talking about? So the synopsis for this is meet young Coco, curious and bright and desperate to learn how magic's wrought. But witches keep their secrets hidden tight. And witches, Coco knows, are born, not taught. Then one day Coco spies upon a witch as he prepares the charms for which she yearns, and sees that, like her skill with thread and stitch, the truth is magic's something she can learn. Now with this knowledge, Coco starts to try to teach herself the witch's way with charms, and yet her aspirations go awry as Coco's magic causes grievous harm. To set things right, young Coco leaves her home, and so begins the tale within this tome. So yeah, so the story follows young Coco, the character you see on the cover of Volume 1, as she begins her journey to learn magic. And so I have really enjoyed this series. It just the world in general looks very nice. The art looks freaking beautiful. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying all the characters and stuff, because it's just a really nicely drawn series. I like how detailed they go into the magic and all that stuff. So that's Witch Hat Atelier. Another one that I got for a birthday present. This is another one that I have on my list of stuff I want to read this year, because shout out to both Gemini Manga as well as Your Bald-Headed Senpai, because both of them, they're also fellow manga YouTubers, and they've both read the series and they've both enjoyed it. And so I'm like, okay, I really want to get this in my collection and read it sometime this year so we can talk about it. And so that is Ikigami, The Ultimate Limit. Now, like I mentioned, this is one I got as a birthday present from good buddy of mine, Gooch. Because this is one that's very hard to find, as you can tell, because I have just volume 4. But basically, it kind of follows, I guess the general premise of this world is that, I guess in order to keep the population down or from getting too crazy or whatever, they do these things where basically people between the ages of, I think it's 18 to 24 or something like that. Let me see real quick. Yeah, people the ages between 18 to 24, they will, basically the government will randomly send them a letter basically saying, hey, you have 24 hours left to live. And so the story kind of follows this guy who is an Ikigami, who are people that deliver these notes of, hey, y'all got 24 hours. And so it's a psychological thriller that kind of deals with how people basically choose to spend their last 24 hours. And so, like I said, it's one that it's a little bit older series, and so it's like kind of hard to come by. So I definitely want to get my hands on all of them and read it, because hey, I like me some psychological thrillers. But very happy to have that as part of my collection. Thanks to my good buddy Gooch. Now, these are the couple of ones real quick. These are also a couple of ones that I've also already read and done reviews for. The first one is Daily Report About My Witch Senpai. And so this is kind of like a shoujo, kind of like a romantic comedy series that basically just kind of follows these two characters around. And I'll just read a quick synopsis. So Misono is an office drone with his own ups and downs at work, but thankfully he has an ally, his senpai Shizuku, who happens to be a witch. Shizuku is always ready to lend a hand to those in need, but Misono thinks she should take better care of herself, since zipping around on a broomstick to run errands can be quite stressful. Is Misono's up for protective concern for Shizuku driven by mere respect for this flustered witch, or could it be more? So like I said, I already read this one or whatever. It was okay. Like the beginning of it, I feel like was kind of slow, but eventually kind of some story stuff happens and ended up kind of getting my attention and pulled me through. But it's a cute little series. Like I said, not top of my list, but it was a fun, quick little read. So check out my full review for that as well as this one, Succubus and Hitman. Now, this one was a really, really, really fun read. This is another one that I've also already read and reviewed for this month. But the synopsis for this one is a demonic deal. High schooler Gamal Shoya is a dead man, sort of. The real Shoya is long gone, but his body lives on, inhabited by the soul of a boy who made a pact with a succubus named Armelina. In exchange for his services as her personal hitman, Armelina is helping him hunt down the people who brutally murdered him and his family. The path ahead is dark and deadly, but Shoya's got nothing left to lose, not even his soul. So yeah, so like I said, this was a fun read, because it was, dark, violent, but also a little bit of sexiness sprinkled in there as well. Look at that cutie there. But yeah, so that was a fun read. Definitely check out my review of that one. So these next handful have a little story behind these. So let's go over to the Jumbotron. So I had took a little trip to Half Price Books because it was my niece's birthday a couple weeks ago. So once again, happy birthday to my niece Lydia. Turned 15. Oh Lord, 14. But she is also a manga reader. So I wanted her. I was like, you know what? Uncle Robert's got to do his duty and get his baby girl, his niece, some manga. So one of those I got her Spy Family Volume 1, Komi Can't Communicate Volume 1, as well as Bungo Stray Dogs Beast Volume 1. Now this might seem like a weird mix of stuff, whatever, but with the Bungo Stray Dogs, she is a fan of like a little bit like more darker tone stuff as well. So I was like, you know what? I've enjoyed the Bungo Stray Dogs series, and so I figured, I was like, you know what? I'll give this a shot, because like I said, it happened to be there. So I was like, you know what? Can't pass that up. Spy Family, y'all know how much, if y'all listen to my podcast, how much I love and talk about Spy Family. And just a quick synopsis for anybody that might not know. So Spy Family basically follows the main character whose code name is Light, and he's a spy. And so basically, as part of a mission that he's on, he has to put together this fake family to help infiltrate this school. But what he doesn't know is that the wife he recruits, she's secretly an assassin, and the daughter that they adopt, she is secretly a telepath. And so it's kind of like, it's like a fun kind of like comedy action series, which is getting an anime in the spring season. So in March of 2022, make sure to check that out and be on the lookout for that. But yeah, Spy Family is very awesome. And then Komi Can't Communicate, that's about a young lady named Komi, who can't, she basically has really bad anxiety, so much to the point to where she has trouble speaking. And so that one, there's a anime series for that already on Netflix. There's one season so far, and season 2 of that is also coming out in March. So wanted to check, get those for her, give her something new to try out or whatever. So got her that, as well as I also came across Days of Fest Volumes 1 and 2. And so this is one that I just saw at Barnes & Nobles for the first time like a month or so ago. And it looked interesting. So the synopsis for this one is, Kanade Sora has never been to a music festival before. But when her friend Otaho lures her along with the promise that her favorite band will be playing, she finds herself having more fun than she ever imagined. And if one small show is enough to hook her, what might a huge overnight event at a major venue be like, as Kanade dives into a whole new world of rocking out? Will her life ever be the same? So it just sounds like a fun adventure, just these people going to these different music festivals and stuff. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. Another one I picked up from that same Half Price Books was Beauty and the Feast Volume 1. So this one, the synopsis for this one is, when her husband passed away, Shuko Yakumo lost her appetite for life, and with it, her love of cooking. But her neighbor, Shohei Yamato, brings an end to Shoko's solitary existence. A high school baseball player living on his own, Shohei has a seemingly bottomless stomach, and this presents a challenge that Shuko is only too happy to accept. As her days began to revolve around her secret hobby of feeding Shohei, will Shuko rediscover her happiness, the happiness life has to offer? So this just sounds like a good wholesome time. So yeah, picked it up, and that was it for the secret uncle shopping trip. They actually turned into a a pick up stuff for myself type of trip. But hey, it happens sometimes, especially with stuff like that. So this next one, which once again shouts out to Gemini Manga, The Heroic Legend of Arslan Volume 1. Now this one is written by uh, Hiromu Arakawa, which this is the same creator as Fullmetal Alchemist. So Gemini Manga, when me and him first met months ago, one of the first things he ever mentioned to me was just like, "Hey, you gotta read. I see you're a big Full Metal Alchemist fan, and you like Kingdom and stuff, whatever. You gotta check out Legends of Arslan." Sent me links and everything. Like, hey, check it out, check it out, check it out. So I finally got my hands on it, and I'm planning on diving into it sometime in the coming month or so. But so for this one, in the preposterous kingdom of Pars, lies the royal capital of Ecbatana, a city of splendor and wonder, ruled by an undefeated and fearsome king, Dragoros. Arslan is the young and curious prince of Pars, who, despite his best efforts, doesn't seem to have what it takes to be a proper king like his father. At the age of 14, Arslan goes to his first battle and loses everything as the blood-soaked mist of war gives way to scorching flames, bringing him to face the demise of his once glorious kingdom. However, it is Arslan's destiny to be a ruler, and despite the trials that face him, he must now embark on a journey to reclaim his fallen kingdom. So yeah, so very excited to check out that one. And the last two for the month, as y'all have known since I did my very first manga haul, my collection started with Vinland Saga and 20th Century Boys, and it continues with that again. So my awesomely awesome wife got me Volume 8 of 20th Century Boys Perfect Edition for my birthday. So I got this added to my collection. So, and Vinland Saga Book 12. Look at this beautiful blue. Y'all know blue is my favorite color. So this was quite a treat. Cause honestly, I didn't even know that this was gonna be coming out anytime soon, until some friends of mine back when it came out, around close to Christmas time, whatever, in December, was posting pictures like, "Hey, look at some stuff I picked up this month or whatever," and I saw that blue, and I was like, "Wait, is because the stylized of like the symbols and stuff?" I was like, before I even saw the words, I was like, "Is that Vinland Saga?" And it was, but yeah. So now I have collected all the volumes of Vinland Saga past where the anime stopped, or where season 1 ended. So I now have books 5 through 12. So yeah, so whenever I get ready to fully dive back into that soon, be on the lookout. So, but yeah, but that is it for this month, and I feel like I recorded way longer than I intended, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, some more awesome manga to check out. And one I will give a shout out to, and this is rare, but I'm giving a shout out to only because there is no physical, officially translated English copies of this, and that is a manga series that I read this month called My Home Hero. So My Home Hero. It is a manga that I came across from, there's a manga page I follow on Twitter that happened to talk about the latest volume that came out in Japan. And so when I saw that cover of I think it was like volume 16 or 17, when I was like, that looks interesting. And people in the comments was like, yo, this series is dope, da 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 da. So I looked into it, and I read the first part of the series, which was chapters like 1 through 48. But long story short, the story follows the MC. He's a dad. He's just his day job is just as a salary man. And so basically, long story short, his daughter who just went out to college, whatever, she ends up getting threatened by this guy who's part of like a gang or a syndicate or whatever. And so basically the dad, things happen and the dad ends up killing the guy to protect the daughter. And so the series kind of follows the dad and then the mom working together to cover up the murder while also trying to like keep normal life going. So it's like a really good psychological thriller because like I said, it's just like a normal dad trying to protect his family, but also starting to get wrapped up in this syndicate organization who were like, hey, what happened to the guy and da 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 da, and last place he was seen was at your daughter's apartment and all this stuff, whatever. So, but yeah, I just wanted to give that a shout out because like I said, it's not a pickup per se, but it's one that I read this month that I like super loved and enjoyed. But anyway, this video is going on way too long. But as always, thank y'all for checking out my manga haul. If y'all saw anything that's interesting or anything that y'all have read or fans of, let me know down in the comments below. Or if you're watching this or listening to this on the podcast feed, Spotify video, whatever, hit me up. You know, everywhere I'm at, Dad Needs to Talk. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Hit me up. Let me know what stuff y'all picked up this month and what stuff you're looking forward to coming up. And so with that, I'm out. Y'all have an awesome day or week, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.